YouTube, what is going on up next, family? You know, the long awaited man. We've been waiting for this. Rebekah Jenkins on the channel from Tmng. What's going on, Rebekah? I'm so happy to have you here.
Hello, Danny. I'm so glad to be on the show today. So glad to be here. And hello to everybody watching today.
That's right. That's right. Now, you know, we already picked up some of that Technology Metal Network global tokens. I already got a nice bag of that, like around 800 bucks, I think I picked up. I'm picking up more. Just so you guys know, I'm gonna start loading up the wallet with some more of that TMNG. I know you guys love that first video, but you know, transparency is number one thing in the space right now. Everyone's always talking about transparency. You guys have a lot of content, transparent content on your website already, a lot of participation you guys have with your community, which is amazing to see. But I'm so happy to have you on the channel. So I wanted to ask you, start this off. What's your journey like in crypto? How has it been, and how did you get involved with TMNG?
Man, the journey question is always a loaded one. I first heard about Bitcoin and crypto back in 2017, 2018. So I've been around for quite a long bit. I didn't jump in originally because I thought crypto and Bitcoin back then was like for the nerds that never see the sun, that are like always on their computer and don't talk to people.
Yeah.
But I have to give credit to my dad, because my dad really got me into like Bitcoin. He's like, gotta buy Bitcoin. Like this is like back in 2018. And
Really?
so yeah, so I like have to give him a lot of credit for getting me like on the Bitcoin bandwagon and like into crypto. And then later in 2019, I met my current life partner and business partner,
Oh,
Feridun Guven, and he actually was the one who really got me into crypto like as a job.
really?
So yeah, so my background is in tennis. I was a tennis professional. I was a competitive tennis player for over 20 years. I earned a scholarship to a Division I university, and I earned a Bachelor of Science in Psychology for that whole tennis. Tennis was my past life. Like that
I
was my
remember you telling me that before. That's incredible.
yeah. And so I like transitioned completely from like being in super highly competitive like sports and like the very highest level. Like I even became a tennis coach. I have three different tennis training licenses.
Hmm.
And in 2018, I was America's under 30 national tennis coach of the year. And at that point, I was like, I cannot be a tennis player or a tennis coach for the rest of my life. I really feel like I want to get into something that's like in business. Like I want to build a business. I want to like do something that's innovative. I want to change the world. And I can't do that when I have like, I'm on a tennis court for 10 hours a day.
A
So I
lot
was
of commitment, right? Sports? My God.
absolutely. And a lot of the things I learned being like this really intense, like tennis player, playing 6 hours a day, doing the trainings, going to the tournaments, like a lot of those skills, like the fundamental skills that I learned
Hmm.
in sports really are great for building a business and being an entrepreneur. Like you think about discipline, think about commitment, think
Absolutely.
about consistency, professionalism,
Absolutely.
drive, the will to win. So I take all of those things into now what I've been doing with my business with TMN Global. But it wasn't my idea. Originally, I wanted to get into marketing. So I started doing marketing. I was like doing classes, learning by doing. I built a marketing agency in 2016,
Wow.
um, and was doing a lot of like helping small businesses and startups. And then fast forward to 2019, I met Feridun Guven, and then we started this blockchain company together. It was his idea
Right.
because he had a really good friend that was the market leader, or is the market leader for commodities trading in Europe. And he was like, why don't you have this business with your metals trading? Like, why don't you add it to the blockchain? Like, give
Wow.
people worldwide the opportunity to invest in these metals, because nobody knows about this stuff. Like,
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. You say that, and I'm telling you guys, some of the commodities that you guys offer for trading, I've never even heard of before. So,
but you're not alone, Danny. You're not alone. Like literally,
oh,
if you
no.
would go out, if I were to go out on the street, I'd actually do this. This would probably go viral if I like went on
Yeah.
the street in like Berlin or like somewhere in Switzerland, and was like, "Do you know what indium is?" Like, and just ask anyone. 99% of people are like, "I don't know what indium is." Is that like what
Yeah.
we eat? Is that
Yeah.
like a snack?
Unless you're a geologist, you're not gonna know these things. I'm
Or
telling
like
you.
a chemist, you like study the
Yeah.
periodic table of elements. So indium actually, and I don't have my phone with me right now, but indium binds with glass and creates touch screens.
Wow.
So if you have a smartphone, you have touched indium today.
Wow. Wow.
But the
That's
problem is,
incredible. That's just knowledge. That's real knowledge right there that you guys get.
yeah, and if you think about the demand on like touch screens, there's more and more touch screens popping up everywhere. But it's like nobody that we know, like 99% of people who don't know what indium is, can't profit from that demand on the market. And that I feel like that's really unfortunate that it's so gate kept by the big industrial players.
Oh my
It's
goodness, you say that.
gatekeeping
That's what
finest.
the big companies do, right? They just gatekeep all the good stuff for themselves, and then we get the breadcrumbs.
Unfortunately, that is the reality. But TMNG is changing things, and that's why we created the TMNG token. It's a payment token, and allows users to go and purchase these metals, invest, and you can. They're stored in physical bonded warehouses in Germany, Switzerland, and Liechtenstein. So there's like huge World War II bunkers where you can actually have your metals stored. You can visit them personally, like you can see the metals live. It's a surreal experience. But yeah, that is like the business model. That's the whole gist of TMN Global, our platform.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Giving
And I want
power
to show you
back
guys, I want to actually show the viewers some of this TMNG that I'm holding right here. As you guys can see, I got it right there in my MetaMask. Now, I picked this up on the Polygon chain. Are you guys exclusively on Polygon?
Yeah, so we started out on Ethereum, but then with the gas fees, it was really
I'm glad you
crazy.
switched over. My God.
So, and Polygon seems to be working like a charm. Like we did a whole migration. In the future, we might do like the whole like cross chain or like multiple
Some interoperability.
yeah, interoperability. But right now we're just on Polygon, and we're really happy that we made the change.
Incredible. Incredible. Now, obviously you guys are doing something very different. I looked at 1,300 projects in the last 365 days, and what you guys are offering is real assets, asset backing tokens. Most of the tokens that we look at in the space right now do not carry any real assets behind it. How did this all come together? Obviously you explained how the team came together, the TMNG. Now, coming in and backing these tokens with real world assets and real metals. How does this whole thing all work together? You know what I mean? You guys have mines set up? How does this thing actually work?
So that's a great question. I have to correct you because we're not yet. It's a yet detail that we want to be asset backed in the future. So we are going to do the tokenization of these rare earth
coming. That's happening.
And technology metals. It's in the roadmap. It's coming. But right now, currently, we are a payment token. Right. So it's just like a standard token that you can exchange for value. So with our project, we're a virtual asset service provider. We're offering the TMNG token, but users take that token and they can exchange it for the physical metals.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like a metals exchange. What we've built on our platform.
Wow. So I've been holding the tokens. I've been holding the tokens because I see the vision of the company. I see the vision in the future of where this is all going to go. It's absolutely incredible. Now,
thank you.
What also really interests me is that it's not a volatile token. You know what I mean? It's very stable. A lot of tokens you see in the space right now have absolutely insane volatility. But this token almost feels like I'm holding a stable token. How do you guys do that? How is it so stable? It really follows the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum up and down in the market, but you don't see the volatility that you see with some of these, shit tokens as they call it in the space.
Yeah, well, we're not a shit token. We're not a Bitcoin. We are very different from the other guys because we have a use case. And I think that's really what sets us apart is we are the world's first and only. We are the world's first to market with this specific use case. And it's innovative. I mean, we're pioneering this niche within the industry. And I think people really, they want to back up something that's building for the space. They don't want to back up another shit coin that's just going off of some kind of, political thing that's happening in the moment, some trend that's happening. It's here today and gone tomorrow. Who wants to just throw their money away at something like that?
It's a pump and dump, all sorts of crap that's happening in this space. And that's why I really like, this is the light side of crypto. When people talk about meme coins and stuff, and I was at Consensus actually, and Consensus, you got those crypto nerds over there, the guys that are there for the technology, the degens. And I'm talking to them and I'm saying, like, what about the meme coins and stuff? And they said, meme coins, that's the dark side of crypto. You know what I mean? And that's what I want the audience to
That's
realize.
degen land, Danny.
That's degen land, you know what I mean? So over here, when you're on the light side of crypto, this is where people are actually here for the technology. People are here to actually grow this space and be here for the community long term, which brings me on to the community. You guys have built a very, very nice community already. What are these strategies that you guys are using right now to grow your community? And I see a lot of engagement with the community. I see you guys being at events, speaking, all sorts of community engagement activities you guys are putting together. What are you guys doing now as far as community building strategies?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, community is everything for any project, not even just a crypto project, but just businesses in general. Like without your community, like you don't have a business. Like without your social media following, without all of these things, it's very important to engage with your community. So I think the biggest thing we're doing now is that we are preparing like some really, really big marketing initiatives that we're about to roll out literally like within the next couple weeks, for the next couple months. And we are going to be at some events coming up. We're going to be at 𝐒𝐕𝐄𝐈𝐅𝐈𝐄𝐃, which is a big venture capital like crypto event in Crypto Valley, Zug, Switzerland. That's in October. We'll also be at the Web Summit in Lisbon, Portugal in November. That's coming up. And we're doing some strategic partnerships. Like we just got a strategic partnership together with a company called Stars. And Stars tokenizes like Olympic athletes, fan tokens. It's like really cool with sports together. But through that strategic partnership, we got an amazing deal to do commercials on television in the German speaking countries. So on like, I would consider with like in North America, it's called like ESPN would be like the biggest sports channel. It's like the ESPN of the German speaking countries. It's called Sport 1 or Sport 1. And so we'll be broadcasting, what we're doing through like television, which is a really, really huge opportunity. We're also doing a bunch of like giveaways, like token airdrops, giveaways, like in the community engagement activities where the community can come together and, engage. Like we just had like a meme challenge where our community made memes about Tmng. And typically like with a token that's not a meme token, you wouldn't do that. But it's crypto, man. Like you gotta have fun with it.
It's crypto. Yeah. And you know what you guys are doing is absolutely incredible, because I see a lot of platforms out there, they don't give back to the community like that. They don't do the giveaways. They don't do the airdrops. And you guys, like I said, you guys are a real platform with real plans, real things that you're doing in the space to grow the space, and you're still engaging the community so much. So it's completely understandable why so many people are supporting TMNG. I'm telling you guys, to the million viewers that's going to watch this video, you have to check out TMNG. If I put my money where my mouth is, then you see me picking up tokens. That's why I'm picking up TMNG. That's why I'm going to load up more on TMNG. And thank God that the market has gone down a little bit, so we can actually pick up these tokens at a little bit of a discount. You know what I mean? That's what people don't realize. And if you're a noob that has gotten in the space, and a noob is somebody that got in the space in the last 3 months to 6 months, you know what I mean? If you've been in the space in the last 5, 6, 7 years, you know that these are cycles. You've seen the price of Bitcoin go from $700 to 5K, go back down, go up to 10K, go back down. You've been through the roller coaster. But if you got in the space the last 3 to 6 months, you have to realize this is all part of the cycle. This is a nice little dip, and it's an amazing buying opportunity. It's Black Friday sale all over again. So, you know what I mean? If you want to pick up some of this TMNG token, this is the perfect time. And let's talk about the token a little bit. You said this token right now, the utility behind it is obviously for trading. And what's going to be some utilities that's going to be added onto the token, or what's going to be that next token that you guys are coming out with?
Yeah, that's a great question. Of course, the roadmap, if anyone wants to check it out, I'm sure Danny will link our website down below, and you can check out like all of the details yourself.
Absolutely.
The roadmap is on our website, but what's coming for the token, and this is why, Danny, you're so right about holding on to the token now, because we are building our own centralized exchange. A part of
Wow.
our roadmap is that we are going to be kind of like what BNB token is, where it's paying for some of those fees while using the platform. So the use case right now is that TMNG is a payment token for exchanging to buy these metals, investing in these metals. However, that is the first use case out of many that are coming in the future. So what's coming in the future is paying for these fees on the platform, also paying for other fees when there's transactions happening on the platform. And that's something that is really interesting because there's so many possibilities when we're building our own centralized exchange. What's going to come next after that is the stable tokens that are backed one-to-one. So like, for example, I'm not sure what it'll be exactly in the future, but like if one token will be like, for example, 1 gram of hafnium, and that will be like the hafnium stable token, and that will be tied to the price of hafnium for that day or for that time period. And then there will be tokens for every single rare earth metal.
That's wow.
I'm going to tell you guys a little bit of alpha right now, which is
Give me the alpha.
really interesting. It's all over the news. You may have already picked up on it. You may have already seen it if you're kind of like in the investing world or like tangible assets world. But gallium and germanium right now are hardcore being blocked or being restricted because China controls that flow of the access to a lot of those metals. So a lot of those rare earth metals are coming from China. So a lot of these other countries are waking up to the fact that, oh, we need to do something about this. We should probably take more initiative to build these mines to find gallium and germanium of our own or other rare earth metals, because again, they're used for all smartphones, all laptops, all green energy products, rocket ships, like the internet we're using right now. Fiber optic cables require germanium. Wow. So really, really important stuff. And the price, because China is restricting those metals, the price of these metals are skyrocketing because people just don't have access to them. So a little bit of alpha for you guys that are like doing research after this
That
video.
is huge. That's huge alpha right there, guys. You have to listen to Rebekah here, because look, when access goes down, when you have, trouble accessing something like that, what's going to happen traditionally, naturally? Value is going to go up. So, TMNG giving you guys the opportunity to get involved with some of these inaccessible, rare earth metals. It's absolutely huge. When I was going through the first video, and you guys saw the first video, I think we broke like 70-80K views, maybe it's even at over 100K views now. I'm going to link that again down in the description below. But when I was going through that the first time around, I'm like, where could I pick up these rare earth metals in a traditional manner? I can't. Like, even if I go Google search it and this and that, you got to jump through hoops and hoops. Yeah. But then they make it so easy. So if it's something that you're interested in, even outside of crypto, even if you go outside of crypto and you want to pick up gold, you want to pick up silver, you want to pick up some of these very, very rare earth metals, where are you going to go? TMNG, TMN Global. All the links are going to be
down. I will say that gold and silver are much easier to find.
They're much easier to find. Absolutely. But some of the ones
that you are so right when it comes to the rare earth metals, the hafnium, the indium, the praseodymium, like those ones. Absolutely. So like, I'll tell you an example. Like in Tesla's engines, like those are electric engines, and a lot of time lithium gets like all of the credit. Like lithium gets all of the hype
with the batteries.
Everyone knows lithium, the word lithium, but nobody knows about dysprosium. Dysprosium is also needed for these electric motors.
See, I gotta be honest, I don't know these things myself. You know what I mean? I'm being educated as we go on the channel. So
it's a science lesson.
And you know what? It's interesting that you come from a background of sports. You come from a background of marketing. And now you've got so much knowledge in like a chemistry way where it's like, wow, you know what I mean? You've learned so much and you're bringing so much alpha to the channel. So it's really interesting to see how people evolve in the space at the same time when they get involved with projects of this magnitude, especially. Now,
Well, I'm going to tell you just before you move on to the next
yeah,
question, the next topic, I'm going to tell you it was not planned this way. Sometimes life happens.
absolutely.
But for me, it was so fascinating that I'm like, how do people not know about this? Like, how am I walking around with my smartphone, with my indium, with my germanium, and I don't even know that that's in my devices, and I'm not profiting from it. Like
Yeah,
that's what Nvidia is getting blowing up because of course everything is needing these microchips,
yeah.
right? But it's like people don't realize, what if you had the opportunity to invest not just in one tech company, but in all the tech companies, because you are purchasing the metals that all tech companies require. It's the future.
It is absolutely the future, and the future is now when you're looking
Mhm.
at a platform like TMN Global. So that's absolutely incredible, you know. And outside of that, you talked a little bit about partnerships, how you guys got some big partnerships coming up. What are some more of these partnerships we can talk about? You know, I know you guys are building your own CEX, and you guys have been listed on multiple different CEXs, which is absolutely incredible. Obviously, you can pick it up on DEXs as well. But what are some of these partnerships that are coming up? Maybe you can give us some of that, spill some of those beans for us on the channel.
Yeah, I can tell you currently we are of a partnership with MEXC, MEXC. We're
Hmm.
listed and trading there. Also with CrowdSwap. CrowdSwap is a decentralized exchange.
Of
So
course.
anyone who's restricted by using MEXC, because not all countries can use the MEXC
Go
because it's
straight to the
centralized,
DEX.
go to the DEX. You're right, and that's CrowdSwap. We also have a partnership with Mitaco. Mitaco has custody wallets. So, like, if you think back at the FTX scandal that happened,
Yeah.
all of everyone's funds were in this big like bucket, and they didn't have like segregated wallets that had
Uh-huh.
like Danny, Rebekah, George,
Hmm.
Sarah, whatever. They were all like in this bucket. So like the founders were essentially allowed to just like grab what they wanted, and no one would know because it was all just in the same bucket.
And SBF
It,
just had control of the whole bucket.
exactly. So what the difference is, what we had to do, because we're regulated in Switzerland, we were required by law to make custody wallets. So every single user that has an account with TMN Global, they have their own wallet with their own name, and it's like it's
Wow.
for them. It's
Wow.
their own. It's owned by them. So
That's
we
incredible.
could
Wow.
never just go and reach in the bucket and take anything, take
Wow.
the users, because everything is accounted for. And in addition to that, we are audited like every year by Switzerland
Hmm.
to make sure that we're not doing anything. I would say like in Gen Z terms, sus.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? That's what you guys need to look out for. A platform that is regulated. First of all, I know you guys have all sorts of regulation under Switzerland law, but the fact that you guys have those dedicated wallets that stores, you guys have to understand that's real safety with your funds. That's real safety, and your stuff can't be compromised. Kind of like you saw how big FTX was. You know what I mean? The guys were worth billions and billions of dollars. You know what I mean? This was a multi-billion-dollar rug. Now,
Yeah.
you look at that and you're like, this could happen anytime, anywhere, to any platform. If FTX can do that, and we had some of the most, Matt Damon was talking about FTX. You know, some of the biggest stars in Hollywood, biggest guys in sports. Tom Brady was shilling FTX. You know, some of the biggest names were shilling FTX. If that could happen, you really got to go to the root of the situation and see how can you actually fix these things so this does not happen again. You know what I mean? And then there's segregated wallets. You know what I mean? There's stuff
So
like
that's
this.
the solution. That
That's the
really, I
solution.
mean, that at the end of the day, like that is the solution, is just more I mean, regulation, I'm not like the biggest fan, to be honest, especially after
Absolutely. Me too.
a
Me too.
lot of the Switzerland regulation, what we had to go through to get to where we are today.
Yeah.
I know it's in the best interest of the customer,
Yeah.
but I know that there are some countries and some jurisdictions that require so much and they take it too far.
It's a little
So
annoying for sure.
It's super annoying. But like I understand the intention behind it. It's to keep from the FTXs of the world from taking over the industry and ruining the reputation of the future of us building in the industry. So
Absolutely.
there has to be a balance. There has to be a give and take, so that we can thrive, but also make sure that the safety and security of the users is taken care of.
I love how you put that, Rebekah. There has to be balance in the space. We're always talking about decentralization, taking everything away outside the hands of the traditional finance and the banks and the so on and the government, so on and so forth. But there has to be some level of balance there, so then you don't have the Celsius networks, you don't have the FTXs, you don't have those things happening that have happened in the past, and they've gone multi-billions of dollars, gone. So huge shout out to you guys, first of all, for everything that you guys are doing, honestly, man. And this is why I'm actually a huge supporter of Project. I've talked to you before on previous occasions, so I know the people that are behind the platform. I know the people that are operating the platform. It's absolutely amazing guys behind the platform that's pushing. And sometimes there's a really good idea in the space, but you don't have the right team behind it to push it to that next level and make it grow the way it should. But again, with Tmng, you got the whole thing, the whole thing under an umbrella of good people, well-educated people that are pushing this platform to the next level.
Yeah, now, and I will say one more thing.
Yeah.
We don't have a partnership officially, but we're collaborating with IBM also for more security.
Wow.
Just to name drop,
that's the sauce for you guys.
IBM is a really big name in the industry. And we just brought on actually like a new chief financial officer. Right. And we're gonna like announce him officially, but we kind of told some of our community about him. His name is Frederick. And
I'm the new CFO, guys. That's the big news.
Yeah, that's kind of like a big announcement. He studied at California, Berkeley. He studied at Oxford, and he's been working with VCs and like big finance guys for years. And so we're really excited to have him on board to like help us really get to that next level, especially with funding and budgeting and like everything we need.
Incredible.
To get on like the top tier exchanges and like take us to the next level for marketing and all of that good stuff.
And you need these people on board. You need those high level guys that's going to take the project to these new places. And honestly, I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud of what you guys are doing in this space. I'm proud of what you guys are doing for this space. And I really cannot wait to see what you guys bring more to the space for us. And you know what? Talking about space, we're going to do a spaces session, me and Rebekah. I'm not going to tell you guys when, but I'm going to drop the alpha soon. You guys know me on X. We're growing so much on X, so go ahead and hit that follow button for me, for Tmng, for Rebekah. Hit that follow. All the links in the description below for you guys to get involved. But we're going to do a spaces on X. The last time I did a spaces session, 140,000 showed up, and it's a whole Taylor Swift concert. It was big. So, you know what I mean? And that's what we're doing next time. We're going to do a nice X session. But on top of all this, if there's anything else that we missed, let us know right now, Rebekah. Anything else that you want to bring to the channel? This is perfect time.
I mean, I just want to say thank you so much for having me and, supporting Tmng Global. I think that it's really important to support companies that are building for the right reasons in the space, with people who actually show up and show their face and are like, hey, absolutely, I'm a real person. I'm not just another AI
That's robot. Not AI right there. You can't point at the Switzerland flag if you're not AI. I love it. I love it. I appreciate you so much. And I know this was a long awaited call. I told you guys I was going to have an AMA session. We had to move it around a few times. I had my own situations going on, so we had to move it around a little bit. But the team at Tmng is so amazing. Like, they're always ready to work with you in any way that you want. And I love your flexibility. I love what you guys are doing in this space. And again, thank you so much for coming on. I'll run this back. If you guys enjoyed the video and the AMA, as always, man, hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment down below what you think about TMN. And if you guys pick up some of that TMN Global token, leave a comment down below how much you picked up. Leave a comment down below. Drop your wallets, whatever. I might even give out some of those tokens. Who knows? You know what I mean? But thank you so much for jumping on, and we'll catch you on the next one. Rebekah.
Thank you, guys. Ciao.